Chris Kehler is here with us of True Quantum Healing. Chris, I have used your services twice, my husband once. Both of us have been massively impacted in a positive way from what you've done. But I want you, in your words, to say what it is that you do, and how it's affecting people, and the kind of results that you're getting from doing it. So I'm just going to let you take it away.
Well, first of all, Martha, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. We were always chatting back and forth on Facebook, and it's nice to finally get to this point and able to have a little chat. The modality that I developed is basically based on the pendulum and chart method of dowsing. So basically what it is, and I'll show you right here. It's a book I've created with a series of charts on a semicircle, and there's all these different possibilities of what a health problem could be. So we work within the concept of finding the area where the health problem is, and then finding the stressor within that area, and using the power of intent and our will, along with our source. Most people call it the soul. I call it the source. We're in these higher dimensions, so everything has a different name now. But using your source, your higher self, and all of the powers within that, coupled with our intent and our will, you say the words using sacred geometry as a backing, and all of a sudden, the whatever that problem is vanishes. Your intent is for that problem to vanish from that area. And if you hit the nail right on the head with identifying it, it is gone. Simple as that. And in most cases, almost immediately. Some cases, it takes a day or so. Many cases, it takes multiple sessions, but quite often 1 or 2 sessions shows some kind of promise. So that's really the base of it, is using your intent, your will, your mind, and the knowledge that your source does have. And for a lot of us, that awakening, everybody's talking about your awakening. The awakening is the knowledge that is there. Everything that has been suppressed from humanity for millions of years is starting to come forward. There's an old saying, ask and ye shall receive. I'm always asking the questions of the universe as to what this problem is within this person, and the answers come forward all the time. You ask the question the right way, play the game, if you will, with the universe, and you will get the answers. It's really almost that simple.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And I know that, do you want to elaborate a little bit on the sacred geometry? Because what you have done, at least in the sessions that we've been in, is you have, I'm going to butcher the name of it. What is it? Vesica Pisces? Is that what it is?
Vesica Pisces, yes.
Oh, yes, I got it. Oh my gosh, you don't know how happy I am.
Well, the sacred geometry has many different proportions to it. So there's pyramids, there's spheres, there's cubes, octagons, tetrahedrons, multiple hedron, this, that, all different types of shapes. Now, the specific thing with this tool, this is the Vesica Pisces. Now, if you were to go on the internet and Google the word Vesica Pisces, you may see a picture of some lady parts. Okay, basically what it represents is the divine feminine. Those are the energies that we are now in, the age of Aquarius, the water bearer, the divine feminine. We are into those energies. So this it really facilitates those energies nicely. It really harmonizes really good. I was using a really huge pyramid, a 5-tier pyramid, before I was using this. This tool sat on my desk for a year. I stared at it for a year. My tool maker, that's another conversation, sent me this and said, Chris, this is for you. And I'm like, okay. And I keep on looking at it saying, when do I use you? All of a sudden, boom, I need to use it. And I picked it up and started using it. Now, what happened just recently is we made a transition dimensionally into the 7th dimension of love. Okay, that this is the ascension that everybody's talking about, getting away from the old masculine energies of war, hate, anger, and hockey, okay, and getting into these more subtle dimensions, these more energies that are more conducive to being happy, being in the now, having all these good things happen for you. And what I ended up doing, following my intuition, is I went from using this tool. Hold on one second. Yeah. For a while, I used this tool. Okay, this is called a chestahedron. All right, it's a very unique tool in that it does not have any math to describe its geometry. All other geometry has a mathematical equation to describe it. Pyramids, pi. Okay, for instance. So there's a mathematical equation. This one, for some reason, does not have it. So we needed to almost sneak in to that dimension so nothing would find us and stop us from getting there. And this is a tool that did it. As soon as we got into that dimension, boom, I was told to go back to this one, and there we are. So the language of the universe is basically mathematics, sacred geometry, and sound. There's also light in there, but it all basically whittles down to a vibration.
Yeah, that's what was it that Tesla said? You'll know the answers to the universe if you know 3, 6, and 9, or the answer to the universe is 3, 6, and 9. We get down to sacred geometry and numbers and vibrations and all of those things. That's amazing. What have you, I just keep saying that's amazing with you, honestly, Chris, because everything that you say is amazing. Whenever I have any sessions with you, I always try to write things down. And what I end up with afterward is like scribbles of like parts of thoughts, then sort of like going into other parts of thoughts. I have no idea. It's completely incoherent by the time I'm out of it, but I feel fantastic. You do such a good job. What are some different transformations that you have had happen with people that you've worked with?
Oh, there's a question. I mean, there's just so many. Lots of people with arthritic pain, all of a sudden gone. Lots of people with any kind of respiratory issue, all of a sudden people can feel changes. We're starting to get into the concept of the really big diseases like ALS, cerebral palsy, Parkinson's, all of that we're starting to get into and learn what those really are, because they are very deep, dark illnesses. But a lot of the, let's say, mundane day-to-day ones, migraines, tinnitus, you name it, basically we get right into there and find out what it is. There's always some kind of negative energy involved, and what I work deeply with is the reptilians. And you go on the internet any day and you can listen to a couple of guys named David talking about the reptilians till the cows come home and turn into a shape-shifting reptilian. But these entities are very much a part of us. We have their DNA within us. We have a lot of their consciousness, their higher self controlling us, getting us to do things that we would not normally do, okay? If you look at the concept of why some people think a certain way all the time, and why some people always, their glass is always half empty instead of half full kind of thing, a lot of mind control types of energies are there. Witchcraft energies, mind control energies are very much a big part of why we have a specific health problem. So if you look at a simple fact, if smoking cigarettes causes lung cancer, how come everybody who smokes cigarettes doesn't have lung cancer? It's because there's something within you that wants to cause an illness for a certain reason to bring your vibration down so you can't ascend into these higher dimensions where we all are.
Man, I don't even know where to go with that. Because that once we start talking reptilians, I feel like we need to bridge to another show later, because we could do a whole nother series of shows about these sorts of things, right? I mean, the very real pieces of our world that not everybody knows about, and that it's not widely spoken of, I guess.
Well, I think mostly it's presenting it in a way so that the general public can understand it and wrap their heads around this concept. It's taken me a while to realize it, and with all the people on the internet who talk about all this stuff, there's a lot of intelligent people doing research and finding all these unique things that are going on at an etheric level. What I'm doing is I'm taking those concepts, I'm plagiarizing like crazy. I hear somebody says something, I'll take that information, put it within my consciousness and my charts and use it. And if it comes up, I clear that energy, and if all of a sudden somebody feels better and the problem goes away, then you have validity. You have accomplishment that, yes, this thing does exist. Right now, I'm going deep into the whole concept of Morgellons, and nanotechnology is starting to really show itself. But the big thing, again, is the reptilian concept of a reptilian DNA within our bodies. So if you look at autoimmune diseases, your body's trying to fight something. Okay, if the autoimmune system is working, it's not gone crazy, it's trying to fight something, and that DNA that's not human is not compatible in the human body, your body's trying to fight it. So for instance, if you have always a chronic heart problem, you have a reptilian DNA, or at least a reptilian stem cell within that heart that needs to be just cleared out by using intent and will. It just goes away, and then you can transmute it into a human capacity, human DNA and stem cell. All of a sudden things start to work better together. Oh, now you have harmony within your body, no more war. Okay, we talk about living in this world of duality. There's the duality right there. It's not salt and pepper and night and day. It is reptilian and human DNA within your body.
So when it brought up for me, like I have Rh negative blood, and I know that obviously there are other people that have Rh negative blood, and I had to take something whenever I was pregnant with Nora, just in case she did not have Rh negative blood, because if she did, then it was very likely that my body was going to treat her as though she was a foreign virus or something and attack her, and try to kill the baby. What do you think of Rh negative blood then?
I think there is some validity to it. Okay, I don't know exactly to what extent, but it could be a marker that yes, you do have a propensity to certain reptilian types of diseases. Reptilian types of diseases are Lyme disease, shingles, funguses are a reptilian disease because they all have consciousness and can be directed by these green scaly things from outer space. So it may give you more of a propensity to things.
Oh man, that's really interesting. Cool. Well, gosh, I feel like our time went really fast. Chris, will you promise me on the air right now that we can do another interview in the future since it was so short?
Absolutely. I'd love to, my dear.
Yay. Now tell everybody where they're able to get a hold of you to be able to work with you.
Yes, my website is chriskehler.net. The last name is Kehler, chriskehler.net, not .com. There is a chriskehler.com. People get a little confused, and this guy's a little wacky. Not as wacky as I am, but chriskehler.net. I'm also on Facebook and YouTube. You can see all of my updates and videos and radio shows on YouTube.
Yes, you guys seriously check out his YouTube channel. Work with him directly. I promise you will not be disappointed by any means. But definitely check out his YouTube channel also. He talks about everything from gluten-free thing. Tell him a little bit about what you talk about. I just acted like we were going to wrap up and then I didn't. So tell him a little bit about what you talk about.
We hit many different topics on the YouTube channel. Of course, we want to bring all these types of possibilities to the forefront so people can understand them and know exactly what's going on. We use simple words. I'm a simple guy. I'm no doctor with a vocabulary like a plethora. So basically we talk about all kinds of different things, supplementation of different things, what gluten does to you if you have a leaky gut, and why you have a leaky gut. And we get really deep into a lot of different concepts in a short period of time. lots of different radio interviews from many, many different wonderful people just like yourself, and we love to touch on everything so that we can educate humanity about what is really going on with your health.
Awesome. Well, that's it, folks. Check out the YouTube channel. Make sure that you work with him. You'll see more interviews with him. You already heard him promise. He did it on the air. So. Thank you, Chris. Everybody have a good night. Thank you so much.